Hey, how's it going YouTube? This is your boy Chosen and welcome back to another discussion video. So ever since chapter 54 in a few of my videos, I've mentioned here and there that starting now, the entire Shinobi world should be on high alert after the events of the Ishiki invasion arc. Today I want to expand on this idea and then end off the video by also discussing why Boruto very soon may be put in the same situation as his father was when he was a kid. So as we all know, with Sasuke losing his sixth path abilities and Naruto rather dying or losing Kuruma, sixth path, whatever the case may be with him, their planet is now more exposed, if I were to say, to bigger threats like other Otsutsuki members. And as of now within the story, every Otsutsuki member we know of is dead besides Momoshiki, whose karma mark is still planted in Boruto. And with the battle between Sasuke and Kawaki versus Borushiki, we know now how Borushiki exactly works. Momoshiki only appears through Boruto when he runs out of chakra. During this transformation, Momoshiki is able to use only Boruto's known abilities, not his own, with the granted ability to fly. The only way to revert Boruto back to normal is to force Momoshiki to absorb chakra, which will allow Boruto to start gaining back consciousness. I'm also assuming to completely regain back control, Boruto has to break Momo's horn. So what does all this have to do with Boruto becoming a worldwide threat? Well, like I said before, Sasuke and most likely Naruto have officially lost their god-given powers, which made its introduction against Kaguya, who was a worldwide threat. Naruto and Sasuke since then have been the only ones capable of handling any kind of Otsutsuki threat when they aren't being held back. But now with those abilities gone, if another god-level threat makes its way to Earth, what are they gonna do? I've said this many times, Sasuke is still very powerful, still has sixth path chakra, so he doesn't even need to make excuses for him running out of chakra anymore or needing to save up for a portal. He possesses both Amaterasu and flame control, Susanoo, lightning and fire release, etc. Against non-Otsutsuki threats, Sasuke still got it. But even against base Momoshiki, I don't think Sasuke is capable of handling him on his own. The problem here, of course, isn't just Momoshiki, it's a fused Momo and Boruto that's the problem. In my opinion, Borushiki as a teen is probably more threatening than Momoshiki in its base form. As crazy as that sounds, just let me explain. I said earlier that it seems like Momoshiki, when controlling Boruto, can only perform Boruto's known techniques with the granted ability to fly. In the manga, Borushiki has used Massive Rasengan, Shadow Clone Jutsu, and Vanishing Rasengan, and each time these moves have been used, it's been super effective. Massive Rasengan was key in killing Boro, Shadow Clone was probably the most effective, seeing as how it literally saved Borushiki's life, and Vanishing Rasengan in order to knock Sasuke down so he can pursue Kawaki. My hope for when this fight comes up in the anime is that it will drag on a little longer and we see Boruto use more moves that he learned, like maybe high compression and wind style Rasengan, which are two other Rasengans Momoshiki is now capable of using. The more base Boruto grows and becomes stronger, the more versatile Borushiki will become. Of course, however, the Karma Seal is out of the question since Borushiki cannot absorb chakra. But still, this is exactly why the entire Shinobi world should fear Boruto. Don't be mistaken, I'm not talking about kid Boruto. No, even Borushiki at this point said it'd be way too risky to fight one-eyed Sasuke. I'm talking about Boruto in the future when he grows and becomes so much stronger, which will also make Borushiki so much stronger. And at that point, with Sasuke losing all his rinnegan abilities, who's gonna stop him? Base Momoshiki's ability was to absorb all ninjutsu and send back a more powerful jutsu of the ones he just absorbed. That's it. Let's look at Boruto right now. Knows lightning release, wind release, and water release. Can perform 5 different kinds of Rasengans. So wind style, high compression, vanishing, regular, and massive, which I think he can only do when Momo's taking control. That's just as of right now. Imagine how much stronger he's going to get. Imagine if he learns all 5 chakra natures, has higher chakra reserves, which could allow him to buff up his attacks even more. When Momoshiki gets access to basically all that kind of power, which is way more than what he originally had, with the ability to freely fly and teleport, who's going to stop him? He has way too many movesets in his arsenal, and like I said, in my opinion, is why I believe Teen Borushiki is going to be stronger than base Momoshiki. The Shinobi world is fucked if this happens. Obviously, of course, with this being a shonen, I'm sure there will be a counter to this. Maybe Sasuke will try everything he can to not prepare himself for this moment, but instead figure out a way to prevent Momoshiki from ever taking over Boruto's body, as he must even understand at this point, with Boruto just growing up naturally and learning more techniques, if Momo takes over a way more powerful Boruto, not even he can stop him. I already have a video idea planned for how Boruto can prevent Momoshiki from coming out, so I won't say what it is. I'll save it for that video, but yeah, if I was Sasuke, I'd definitely make my priority from now on to find a way to allow Boruto to properly control Momoshiki for the sake of the Shinobi world. So now that that part has been covered with, to end off today's video, I want to go on and explain why Boruto from now on could possibly share the same experience his father felt as a child, and that's being feared and rejected by the citizens of Konoha. Of course, how Kuruma takes over Naruto to how Momoshiki takes over Boruto is two completely different things. Naruto loses control based off of emotion, whereas Boruto loses control based off of chakra reserves. If it was something as simple as emotion, then sure, everyone just has to treat Boruto the same way they have been situation and everything's a-okay. Unfortunately, that's not the case here. That is something that is way harder to control, and the person who is in the most danger in this situation is Sasuke, seeing as how he's Boruto's teacher and is going to train Boruto the most compared to anyone else. So when Boruto and Sasuke go off to train, if you're Hinata or Naruto, you can't help but worry that Boruto may one day push himself a little too hard. And when that happens and he passes out due to exhaustion, yeah. And if the other nations hear this dilemma Konoha is in, they'll obviously start to worry about their own people. I mean, it's their job. Obviously, if Naruto survives, Boruto is most likely untouchable. None of the other nations are going to dare to put a finger on Boruto due to the fact that it could start a war, which I doubt anybody wants. So the obvious solution is to come up with a bunch of precautions going forward. From now on, something like if Boruto wants to train, he must always be under Sasuke's supervision. And same could apply to missions, meaning we could possibly get a lot more screen time between the two, which also connects to that Sasuke and Boruto video I made a while back. The village of course may start being a bit distant towards the Hokage's son as well, because like I said, this isn't about emotion. They could treat Boruto like a king, but that one wrong day comes and boom, slaughters them all. I wouldn't be surprised if they go as far as to pack up and head out of Konoha, seeing as how they don't have anyone in the village, or the world to be exact, to handle a teen borushiki whose potential is insane. With Sarutobi and Kid Naruto, if Naruto were to slowly start growing them tails, especially as a kid, Sarutobi at that point can definitely handle him. So there was no real worry, but with possibly Kakashi retaking the position as Kage, I mean, I like Kakashi, but he's getting smoked if he comes across Team Borushiki. Kakashi isn't gonna stop him. Sasuke isn't gonna stop him. Nobody is going to stop him. For those who disagree, you need to start watching the anime, because the anime has and will continue to show how much potential Boruto has as a ninja. They gave him 2 new Rasengan that I mentioned at the beginning, literally at the age of 12. Imagine how strong he'll be at the age of 16. And now imagine if Momoshiki takes over and amplifies all of these powers. Again, like I said, there is a solution to this, however, that I think Katasuke or Amato is going to come up with that is going to help Boruto further control Momoshiki, but that idea is for another video. So thank you all for watching until the end. I'd very much appreciate a like and sub if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you on the next one.